going to take you through my behavior system. I teach grades 1st and 2nd, so I wanted something pretty simple that they would be able to understand and follow really easily. I saw this concept on a blog last year before I became an art teacher, and I knew I wanted to incorporate it into my classroom. So I'm going to walk you through what everything on this bulletin board means. So as you can see, I have tons of empty crayon boxes that are just tacked on to the bulletin board. And each class has their own crayon box. I teach 20 classes, so I have 20 crayon boxes on the board. As you can also see, every class has their own clothespin. So I just have these colored clothespins, and then I glued on these little kind of patterned things that I found from Amazon that I knew would be good for this board. And the last name of the teacher and the teacher's number is on the clothespin as well. And then it matches up to the number on the crayon box. So I have number 1 goes with that teacher, number 2 goes with that teacher, and then it just goes all the way down. Every teacher has their own number, and then their own crayon box, and their own clothespin. That is all labeled and organized. So the other part of the behavior bulletin board is the clip chart, which is right next to the crayon boxes. Each little paper or each section has a different color. It goes from outstanding to great job, ready to create, warning, and finally teacher's choice. Basically, the classes that I have for the day, all of their clothespins get clipped on to ready to create. That is where every class starts. Depending on their behavior, they will either get moved up on the clip chart or moved down on the clip chart. And this is their behavior as a class. So it is not individual, it's the class as a whole. So they have to work together as a class in order to behave and get moved up, or if they're not behaving, obviously get moved down. I do not let a single student that is misbehaving ruin it for the whole class. So that is taken care of on an individual basis, and I don't let it affect the class's clip moving up or down because they can't control that. That is not their fault if one individual student is acting out. I stress to them that ready to create is not a bad place to end on, but obviously their goal is to move up to blue or purple. Usually halfway through class, I'll move them up to blue, and then at the end of class, the very end, is when I will decide if I want to move them up to purple or not. Warning is basically what it sounds like. If the students all as a whole are not cooperating, they're not listening, they're not paying attention to directions, they're talking when I'm talking, I will move them down and just give them a simple warning. If the warning does not work, they get moved down to teacher's choice. That is when I choose the consequence for their behavior. It might be 5 minutes of silence at the end of class. It might be that they are not allowed to talk for a whole art class period. It might even be that I take away an art project that would have been fun and exciting for them, but they simply did not earn it. And that, again, would be my choice depending on how severe the behavior issue is in the classroom. So far this year, I have not had any classes on teacher's choice, which is wonderful. I have had a few move down to a warning, but not for anything too severe, just some chit-chatness, usually when there is a full moon outside. So let's say at the end of the day, this is how the clip chart looks. I have a clip from each class on all the colors of the clip chart. That has never happened before, but let's just hypothetical situation it here. So if I look over here and I see that tester's class, or number 11, is on outstanding, I would come over to my little colored sections over here. Each section has a colored craft stick or a popsicle stick in it. Depending on where the class lands on the clip chart for the day is the color popsicle stick that they get. So since they ended on purple, they will get a purple popsicle stick in their crayon box. So then I go down here, I would find number 11 because that correlates with that teacher, and they would get a purple popsicle stick in their crayon box. As you can see from the crayon box, there's a few times they have landed on blue, and all the rest of the times they have ended on purple. And then the same just keeps going for the other classes. If number 14, that's that teacher, their class landed on blue, I would go back over, find a blue popsicle stick, and then put that into number 14's box right over there at the end. Now, I don't wait for the end of the day to do this. I do this with the class when they are with me. So throughout the class period, I will let them know if they are moving up or moving down. And then I make a really big deal about the whole thing at the end of class. So if they move up to outstanding, I have them all give themselves a round of applause. And then I put the purple popsicle stick in their crayon box. And then I actually make it into a little bit of a math problem because their goal is to get 8 purple or blue popsicle sticks combined in order to earn a choice day. And I'll talk about a choice day in a little bit. So anyway, back to making it a math problem. If they have 2 purple popsicle sticks and they need to get up to 8 as the total in order to earn a choice day, I'll say, all right, you have 2 and you need 8. How many more popsicle sticks, blue or purple, do you need in order to earn your choice day? So that's a great way to kind of add a little bit of math into the classroom. And like I said, I make such a big deal out of the whole situation at the end of class. I make it exciting, they're clapping, they're freaking out and cheering if they get outstanding or a great job. And I let their teachers know, and they get really excited about that. So we really hype up the whole situation so they're always on their best behavior in art class. It really does seem to be effective, and I'm really excited about it so far because of how excited the kids are about it. When the students earn a choice day, they are given 4 options or 4 choices to choose from. They have Play-Doh Paradise, Watercolor Wonderland, Legoland, and Loom Lagoon. So I let every student choose what they want to do. I typically put 1 Play-Doh caddy at each table, and then individual students who want to do Watercolor Wonderland will grab one of the caddies. Usually the individual students, I have enough Legos for them to grab on their own, but if I have a lot who want to do Legoland, they will share these little containers. And then again, Loom Lagoon, the students will come to the back area of the room with me, where I will teach them how to weave with the yarn and add some beads in there and some fun decorations. So that's kind of like a small group that I'll have in the back of the room, and everyone else will be doing their own thing. They have 1 choice for the class period, and once they make that choice, they are not able to change it. So I can't have students halfway switching out on their choice and making a new choice because it gets too crazy. So I tell them do their first choice on the first choice day, their second choice on the second choice day, and so on and so forth. I just made a video for my students about their choice day and the different rules and directions for it. So I will link that in the description box below so you have an idea if you want to implement that in your classroom as well. That is the whole concept of my behavior chart that I have over here. If you have any further questions or I didn't explain something very well, please let me know and I will answer your questions or address the confusion that I created or if I didn't explain it properly. So yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, it's super effective. The students love it. I love it because it really controls the behavior in the classroom. Now, I do have a little bit of an individual system as well, so I'll explain that real quick. So first, just a little backstory. I have my first certification in elementary K to 6. So I student taught in a first grade classroom. Therefore, I didn't student teach in an art classroom. I set up my own little student teaching experience in an art classroom so I could have a better understanding of how it works and if I really wanted to go into this profession. I loved the teacher that I set this little student teaching thing up with because she was really, really good at classroom management and gave me great suggestions. This was her individual plan and it works so well. These are little Crayola markers. They're the stampers, so they're not actual markers, but they have the little stamp on the end, just like that. And at the end of class, when the students are in line ready to leave, they either get a super stamper if they did really well individually in the class, paid attention, listened to directions, didn't call out, and if they did misbehave, then they do not get a super stamper. So they typically always want a super stamper because it's the really cool thing to have now when you leave art class. They all get really excited about it. And if they don't get one, then they know next time that they have to up their behavior, do much better in art class so they can end up earning one. So this is just what it is. It's a Crayola ultra clean, washable, ultra laughable, whatever that means. It's just this little stamp marker. That's what it looks like at the end. So this one is a star. I got the Shopkins pack because I know that that's pretty popular, and they're not the actual little Shopkins on the end. It's like a star, there's a heart, there's an apple, some other random fun things like that, and they like to get the different colors each time. And if there's students who are behaving extra well or extra special, or they help me out a lot during the class, I will sometimes give them 2 super stamps. Maybe 1 on each hand or 1 or 2 on the same hand. That's pretty special too, apparently. So that's just an extra incentive or an extra reward for them. And I just got this little pack from Amazon, and they last pretty well as long as the lid is closed, obviously. And I have found that some of the colors don't work very well on all skin types or skin tones. I found that the blue one here works really well on every skin tone. This one, the star, works pretty well on all of them as well. And this little one with like the Shopkins S also works pretty well. Unfortunately, this one is not so great. This one is okay. It's a little bit light. The heart does work, but this one kind of ran out. I must have used that one too much. Also, as a quick side note, my students are obsessed with wanting to touch these crayons. So I sometimes use that as another added incentive at the end of class. If they do something that they are told really well, or they clean up and it's nice and pristine in the classroom, I will walk around with one of the crayons and they are able to touch it. I hope you enjoyed my video about the behavior system in my art classroom. I do have some additional classroom management information that I can give you as well, maybe in another video about classroom jobs, cleanup, setup, all that kind of stuff. So maybe that will be my next video. But for now, again, like I said, if I caused any confusion, if you need me to further explain something, please let me know and I will help you out with that. Thanks so much for watching.